welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Our focus is on the North Central, and we begin in the Senate, where the Senate has suspended the senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, for 6 months for violation of its rules. Her suspension takes effect from today. Her office will be locked and she'll be barred from accessing the National Assembly premises during the period. This was announced during plenary today, despite efforts by some senators to mitigate the suspension period to 3 months. In a majority vote, the Senate sustained the initial decision. But the federal lawmakers ruled that the suspension could be lifted or reduced if she tenders a written apology. Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan was escorted out of the chamber by the Sergeant-at-Arms, but before leaving, she declared this injustice will not be sustained. The United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund has asked the Benue state government to set aside 1% of its primary healthcare development budget as counterpart funding to match resources from the 13 million funding for development programs. The UNICEF Chief Field Officer made a call at a partnership meeting with Governor Hyacinth Alia to step up immunization, maternal and child health, water sanitation, amongst other issues.
In their magnanimity have been able to provide consulting technical skills for us towards us having the Benue State Development Plan, which is 10 years and 5-year costed. And what that means is that through that plan, most of our activities as regards budget will be much more easier, because all we need to do is to draw up some of those items from that budget as we reconcile them with what the ministries or NDAs bring before us. Again, what that plan has been able to do for us is that most of our problems as regards coordination in terms of governance is also well articulated in that plan. And again, the plan also has captured KPIs for the entirety of our ministries, as well as linking them to SDG goals.
In terms of engagement, in terms of cooperation, we also have key asks, so that at the end of the day, in the next 2 years, we should be able to demonstrate the results for children. So we have key asks. One of them being we are requesting for the Benue government, in terms of their domestic resources, to allocate at least 1% of its domestic budget towards strengthening of the primary health care. So it means if the government is able to put such amount of money for PHC, we'll be able to eradicate zero dose, polio, malnutrition, and the like.
Represented by his deputy, Mr. Sam Ode, the governor pledged his administration's commitment to meet all counterpart funding obligations.
During our last engagement with UNICEF, and when Mrs. Ngozi had to raise the red flag on the nutrition of the Benue child, in fact, we were alarmed. And so, for us, we consider it as an emergency. And I must tell you here on behalf of the governor that we are committed to our own part of this bargain. All the counterpart funding we need to put in place to match whatever you are doing, so that we can deliver on the expected objectives. Benue State government is going to do so. We are prepared, we have the manpower, we have the basic resources, and we appreciate the quantum of resources and human resources, financial resources you are also bringing to the table to ensure that we protect the Benue child.
Governor Abdullahi Sule is seeking the collaboration of the Universal Basic Education Commission to cater for the education needs of Almajiris in Nasarawa State. He made this known when he hosted the Executive Secretary of the Commission, Aisha Gaba, and her team at the Government House in Lafia. The Commission's secretary rated Nasarawa amongst the top-performing states in terms of assessing and utilizing matching grants, with over 20 billion naira dispersed to the state since 2005.
Nasarawa State is one of the top-notch states when it comes to education, and that's why we took it upon ourselves to ensure that to meet up, with the standard of education with other states, we have to do more. And I want you to partner with us, ES, on the area of this Almajiri and out of school. You have a lot of experience on that, and I want you to help us and ensure that it works for us. You can also assist us to ensure that we want to take most of these Almajiris out of the streets, and make sure that we take them to places where they can become useful to themselves. We have a vocational and technical institute for us here in Lafia. We have tried a few of them, about 20 of them that we have trained and given them some things to do that. I think that one is a more expensive way of dealing with the Almajiris. Maybe if we have an institution that will carry them, will be more useful.
Nasarawa State is one of the top performing states in terms of accessing and utilization of matching grant in Nigeria. The federal government, through the UBEC, has disbursed over 20 billion naira to Nasarawa State since 2005 to date. I want to assure you, Your Excellency, that your 2024 matching grant is ready for release in the sum of 3,554 million naira. The 2025 allocation to Nasarawa has doubled. It's now 6,714 million naira.
Staying with education in Nasarawa State, 1,700 indigenous students have received scholarship to enable them offset their fees for the West African Examination Council (WAEC). The gesture, which is the 6th edition, is facilitated by the lawmaker representing Nasarawa Toto constituency, Abdul Mumin Ari. The scholarship, which cuts across the Nasarawa Western Zone, is geared towards the reduction of disparities in access to education.
Education is important to our life. The education is a tool that we can use to develop Nasarawa to the federal constituency. I'm always happy and I'm praying. The way and manner people comes and ask me to represent them is simply because I get to go to school. Now I'm praying that the sons and daughters of the less privileged class, they should also have an opportunity that tomorrow they can serve in the same office I am in. Even more of it becomes a senator, it becomes a governor of Nigeria, the governor of state and president of Nigeria at large.
The Joint Union of Academic Staff of Plateau State-owned tertiary institutions have commenced a 7-day warning strike aimed at compelling the state government to pay attention to their long-standing grievances. During the press conference held in Jos, the state capital, the chairman of the Joint Tertiary Union, Mr. Deben Lawan, voiced concerns regarding what he terms the government's indifference towards the persistent challenges faced by academic staff in those institutions. However, the State Commissioner for Education, Mr. Chalom Gyang, argued that the government has been proactive in addressing the issues raised by the union during multiple discussions.
Following the collapse of discussions between the Joint Union of Academic Staff of Plateau State-owned tertiary institutions and the state government, the unions have commenced their 7-day warning strike. The affected institutions include the Plateau State University, the State College of Health Technology, Pangshing, and the State College of Health in Zawan.
The current government inherited a 2-month-old strike by our union, but by sheer goodwill of our leadership and members, the strike was suspended on 1st August 2023 with an agreement entered between JOAPST and Plateau State government. The issues contained in the agreement for action included The government shall write a debt profile to the Debt Management Office for inclusion of balance of 2021 and 2022 promotion arrears in 2024 budget. That all deductions wrongfully made by Plus Chema shall be looked into with a view of refunding same to members by the end of November 2023. The process of the decentralization of salary shall be concluded and implemented by the end of December 2023. That all salaries shall henceforth be paid alongside third-party deductions.
In light of the union's industrial action, the state government reiterates it has attempted to address the concerns raised during previous meetings with the leadership of the union.
The first one was the unresolved issue of 25% and 35% COMCOS salary table. And we have met severally on that issue. And as far as we are concerned, that issue has been trashed. And we even mentioned to them that the recent salary minimum wage took care of this 25-35%. So why are they still bringing it up? Promotion arrears for 2021 and 2022, which has already been resolved.
Nevertheless, the government is hoping to engage the unions in further dialogue to resolve the welfare issues raised by the workers.
Still in Plateau State, temporary suspension of mining activities there has been described as a strategic move aimed at sanitizing the sector, curbing criminal activities, protecting arable land and securing infrastructure. In a media briefing in Jos, the Technical Committee on Mining Reform emphasized that the suspension was born out of government's shared responsibility to protect lives and property from the escalating threat of illegal mining activities.
In its quest to regulate the mining sector for maximum deliverance, the Plateau State government has ordered the suspension of all illegal mining activities through Executive Order 001 signed by Governor Caleb Muftwang. The unregulated mining activities, coupled with economic hardship, resulted in many young people abandoning their education to engage in artisanal mining, thereby exposing themselves to exploitation, drug abuse, prostitution, and life-threatening health hazards.
Over the decades, these activities have resulted in severe land degradation, environmental pollution, increased child labor, illicit drug trade, proliferation of arms, banditry, kidnapping, among other dangerous trends. It is particularly disheartening that many young people in our states are abandoning their education to engage in artisanal mining, thereby exposing themselves to exploitation, drug abuse, prostitution, and life-threatening health hazards.
For the reform activities to be carried out successfully, everyone is expected to consider the overall benefit without prejudice, as government is bound to provide the enabling environment for the sector.
Every society is always about improvement. You cannot stagnate or regress in that which you are doing as a society. So we believe that the current government is coming with a case that will address the current cases that we are facing, the challenges that we are facing, the insecurity that we are facing, which, mind you, is no longer just a local or a state or a national issue, it's a global issue.
Traditional institutions are not left out in the struggle to ensure that the mining sector is regulated and monitored to curb the vices associated with illegal mining.
It is creating a lot of discord. It is creating a lot of insecurity. And the way we're going about it, illegal mining has been Christianized as artisan mining. We want to sincerely reject that terminology. A lot of our children have left school, both boys and girls, and are in the mining pits. And this comes with all the risk. A lot of them are dying.
The mandate of the technical committee is to engage all stakeholders in the mining sector and develop a framework for ensuring that mining activities in the state align with the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act 2007 and Mining Regulations 2011.
Participants at the Capacity Building Workshop on Commercial Fodder Production and Value Chain Addition in Ilorin, Kwara State have said that the program is capable of improving livestock productivity and making practitioners independent. The 5-day Capacity Building Workshop for 100 farmers was organized by the Kwara State L Press and World Bank.
It is the continuation of capacity training for 100 small farmers on fodder production and value chain addition in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. One of the selected beneficiaries of the training workshop is a female smallholder farmer, Khadija Idowu, who testifies that the capacity building workshop by the World Bank and El Press is an eye-opener for participants.
It started from the process to make fodders. That's from the site selection to the preparation of the land preparation, to the treatment of our seed, to the production, to the harvesting and post-harvest preservation and management, how to add value to our fodder. We were taught how to produce high-quality fodder to increase the productivity of our livestock. We were taught how to manage our produce.
In his remarks, research partner at the Center for Dryland Agriculture, Bayero University, Kano, Dr. Akim Ajegbe, explains the value chain areas that participants are taking through and expected challenges of accelerated climate change in terms of rainfall, temperature, humidity, drought, flood, diseases, and weed problems. He believes that Nigeria needs to create a modernized and market-oriented agriculture business model to feed an expected population of 300 million in the next 25 years.
Under the vagaries of climate change, it's not going to be an easy task. But it's a task that must be done, a task that is surmountable. So inshallah, by that time we'll be prepared. Before then we'll be prepared. And the way to prepare is one of these that we have started. Capacity building of all the value chain actors, market orientation, very, very important, policy and infrastructure.
Meanwhile, the Kwara State El Press coordinator commends Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak for his continued support and commitment to improving livelihood of smallholder farmers and pastoralists.
El Press, through the World Bank and our able governor, provided the money for the training. The success by you be measured by that you go home and not only adopting this training, but step it down to other people for adoption. Because by adopting it, by making food available, it means there will be more food for the animal to feed on. That is productivity. Also, commercialization, because by doing it, you are using one stone to kill two birds.
The agriculture experts appeal to governments at all levels, but especially at the grassroots, to encourage irrigation farming, to increase agricultural output.
Meanwhile, 500 women are the latest beneficiaries of the Renewed Hope Initiative Empowerment Program of the First Lady, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu in Kwara State. The wife of the president, through her Renewed Hope Initiative, has also inaugurated some agricultural programs aimed at shoring up food production and supporting families.
"500 women from across the 16 local government areas in Kwara State gathered in this hall are set to have their livelihoods receive a boost. These items will be presented to them with the objective of starting or growing existing businesses. Wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, was represented at the event by the wife of the Kwara State Governor, Mrs. Olufolake Abdulrazak.
Today's event is born out of a steadfast commitment to the economic empowerment of women and promotion of entrepreneurship, as it marks a significant stride in our collective pursuit of a more inclusive and progressive society. This round of the Renewed Hope Women Empowerment Initiative is designed to support the ventures of 500 women in the state and put them on the path of self-reliance and financial independence.
Today's program is not just about distributing empowerment items. It is about unlocking potentials, fostering economic independence, and creating opportunities for women to thrive. By equipping 500 women per state and the FCT with tools such as gas cookers, generators, deep freezers, and grinding machines, we are strengthening the capacity to build sustainable livelihood and contribute meaningfully to inclusive national development.
At a separate event, the wife of the president has also, through her Renewed Hope initiative, inaugurated some agricultural programs, including the Young Farmers Club, the Women Agricultural Support Program, the Youth Agricultural Support Program, and the Every Home a Garden initiative of the Renewed Hope agenda. In her remarks at the event, wife of the Kwara State Governor, Mrs. Abdulrazak, acknowledged that these efforts are aimed at ensuring that Nigeria remains self-sufficient in food production. This, according to her, is in line with the administration's current drive towards attaining food security. She was represented by the Secretary to the Kwara State Government, Professor Maman Jubrin.
The Young Farmers Club is designed to make farming more appealing to our pupils and students. It also stands to nurture a generation that will transform our agricultural landscape, embed modern farming techniques, and ensure that Nigeria remains self-sufficient in food production in line with the food security drive of the administration of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Beneficiaries received farm inputs at the event.
I've been a farmer, part-time farmer, and because any position agile, and we don't want to become thieves, so we use that to augment our earnings. That's all. So if people can key into this, I have a small garden by the side. You can pick things that you need there, tomatoes, onions, all those.
The young farmers are expected to embrace farming and not just rely on white-collar jobs, which are becoming few and far between.
In the spirit of Ramadan, a former senatorial candidate of the Labour Party in Kogi State, Kabiru Atta, is asking wealthy individuals to assist poor and vulnerable persons. Speaking in the Central Senatorial District of Kogi State, he says there's need for the less privileged to be supported at all times. The Chief Executive Officer of Project Second Chance, a non-governmental organization, explained that the nation's economy is not friendly to many people.
In the spirit of the Ramadan season, a former senatorial candidate of the Labour Party in Kogi State is reaching out to indigent residents of the state. It begins with door-to-door distribution of food items and cash in Okene before the group moves to Adavi local government area, where residents are waiting in large numbers.
We feel like individuals and non-governmental organizations should get involved and help, especially in the times where we have hardship, economic disparity. And so we are intervening, and this is just another one of our many interventions that we are. It's the season of Ramadan, and we believe that with the current economic situation, we should get involved and provide some sort of palliative for our people to use for the Ramadan season.
Community leaders and residents are appreciative of the gesture.
Look at the community members, the women, and all these things. All they have today serve as a means of their livelihood today. So we thank God, him, we have many, numerous of his type. Doing this, situation will have blessed. poverty will have gone down a bit more than what is happening now.
We really appreciate Prince Kabir for all he's done and all that his NGO continues to do for the state. You know, the executive governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Usman Ododo, he makes sure that he supports all NGOs in Kogi State. There's a body of NGOs called the Congo, and that's Kogi NGO Network, and he makes sure he supports them whenever they have a program like this. Hence, that's why I'm here, to also show appreciation to a son of the land for bringing back to the community that has fed and has nurtured him.
As the people receive palliatives of rice, gari, spaghetti, salt, beans, spices and cash, the beneficiaries depart the venue with a heart of gratitude.
The police has arraigned 2 suspects before a Lokoja Chief Magistrate Court for alleged conspiracy and negligence leading to a boat mishap in Kogi State. The defendants, Musa Dagana and Yakubu Dagana, both residents of Lokoja, are being tried on charges of alleged conspiracy and negligence. The prosecutor, Mr. Gabriel Otowu, said that Mr. Titus Adoga, the area manager of the National Inland Waterways Authority, had on December the 23rd, 2024, reported a boat mishap to the commandant of the Nigerian Police Force Inland Waterways headquarters. It further alleged that the defendants jointly own a commercial wooden boat. That's the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Melinda Akinwani.